Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Kindness Rising. If you are here on a Tuesday morning, 7:30 a.m., then you have come to the right place. Kindness Rising. We come here every day, and today we are talking about this whole week. We are talking about the transition to the new year and how that change feels and what we do with that change. The question is, what if the reason you think nothing's changing is because you're looking for proof in the wrong places? We're trained to expect growth, to announce it itself with clear milestones, obvious wins, and visible results. But what if the most real progress happens quietly before anyone can see it?
This is Kindness Rising.
I'm a little bit confused today. I think there might be a little problem with the stream. I don't know who's out there. If anybody's out there, let me know. I had a little technical issue this morning, so I need a little confirmation that we are live and going. Come on in, get involved in the chat. We're Kindness Rising. We get up and get after it every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to help you rise with kindness, to rise above the noise every day. So get involved in the comments and hang out with us here. There's Carol Birdie. Aunt Carol's here. Okay, well, I've got an audience of one at least. Aunt Carol, I am so glad you're here. How are you today? And let's get up and get after it together. Absolutely. Well, it looks like other people are joining now. Okay. Glad you are all out there. Kindness Rising is here for you every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Come here for the little hope, humanity, and heart. And we're talking about growth and how growth sometimes doesn't actually feel like progress. It feels like uncertainty. You're doing the work without knowing whether it's working. You're responding differently, but you're not quite feeling proud yet of what you're doing, resisting the old patterns and wondering if it even mattered. I know I go through some of those thoughts myself, that uncertainty. We talk about it. Put your head down, work. Look up. Did I make any progress? No, work. Right? That's what we do here on Kindness Rising, and it is exhausting, Aunt Carol, but you keep going, and that is the way life is, right? Change, you just keep going and you resist those old patterns. Absolutely. And so January 1st is coming up. It's coming up Thursday, and you might not feel any different. You might assume that nothing has changed. But remember that growth isn't a switch, it's a process. What likely shifted throughout the years, throughout last year, wasn't necessarily your outcomes, but it might have been your awareness. You noticed patterns sooner. You paused instead of reacting. You stayed in conversations you used to avoid, and you asked better questions. And when I say you, I mean me. I'm talking about me. Those are things that I know I did throughout the year. I noticed patterns sooner. I paused and responded instead of reacted to things. Not always, not perfect by any means. I'm definitely not perfect about avoiding conversations, but I've gotten a lot better about it this year. I love to ask questions, and that's something that I've always done. But continuing to hone those questions and ask better questions is something that I know I'm working on. And here's the thing, those things, those things that we're talking about, they don't come with applause. Nobody's watching you and saying, good job, go, that's not the way it works. That's not the process. Is not Nothing happens all of a sudden, right? You work, and then it seems like it's all of a sudden, but what went on behind that? And remember that you're not ever starting over. You're just continuing to tune it. If you're self-aware and you're looking back at what you've done, then you will stay with it, jettison that which you don't care for or that is not serving your purpose anymore, and keep growing those things that help you grow. Absolutely. It just came into my mind, and since Aunt Carol and Mom are here, my mom are here, reminds me of your mother, Danda, my grandmother, who used to say a little thing called pick and discard. And she was always talking about dating, honestly. She was talking about date some people, check it out, blah, 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 blah. But it's really a great philosophy in life. Be curious about what's under that card that's turned over. Take a look. Doesn't fit you? Discard it. Pick and discard. Pick and discard. I think that's a pretty wise philosophy, again, that she applied to me when I was, in my 20s and looking for, a partner and whatever. And pick and discard. So maybe that's the message for today. Pick and discard in 2026. Pick it up, look at it, explore it. Does it fit in your hand? Does it not? Discard it. It's gone. That's, I guess, the underlying message at Kindness Rising today that just came out. I didn't think about it in advance. Love when that happens. Thank you for joining me. Those of you who've come here pretty much every day know of our little friend, Sensei Whiskers, my wise cat. And he's not gone. He's not gone forever, but you're not going to see him for a little bit because he's taking a little sabbatical. Even cats need a rest. He's doing well. He's doing fine, but he's taking a little break. He's going to be back in 2026, though, I promise. So that's where I usually would insert my Sensei Whiskers bit, right? Please come on, get involved in the comments if you're out there. Let's have some conversation here on Kindness Rising, where we help you get up and get after it every day with hope, humanity, and heart. And coffee. Coffee is good. All right. Allison Crosby sings Welcome In. That's 2 days in a row, Alyssa. Alyssa Crosby is here 2 days in a row. I appreciate it. We're starting a trend. We'll have to catch up. I appreciate you, Alyssa. Thank you so much for coming out and joining me. I'm glad that we have met, and I sense that we're going to have great teamwork together as we move forward in our lives. So thanks, Alyssa. You're awesome. All right. So I always pick a little object, a little thing that helps us to connect to the topic. I appreciate that, and I appreciate that people like it. I've gotten feedback that, hey, that's pretty cool. I connect to something a little bit different. And today I'm talking about something from the old days. Maybe someone who can sing this one with me. Shake it, shake it, shake it like a Polaroid picture. All right, Alyssa, don't judge me. Anyway, that's Polaroid picture. If you ever took a Polaroid photo, you remember that moment. You press the button, the picture slides out, and at first it's just a black screen. You start shaking it, then the blank square, then a shadow starts to appear, a little hint of something. Ooh, here we go. And every instinct wants you to shake it. You shake it, you check it, you hold it up to the light. Did this even work? but it just takes time. The image is already there. It just needs time. If you rush it, if you mess with it too soon, you'll actually ruin the picture. You can actually ruin the ink. So that's how growth often works. You start making better choices. You respond differently. You change how you talk to yourself. And at first, it looks like nothing. So you assume it's not working, that you should push harder, do more, or start over. But that's not it. Real growth is already developing underneath the surface. You don't need to shake that Polaroid picture. You just need to let it develop. And that's the message for today, the Polaroid picture connection. I appreciate all of you that are out there getting involved in the chat. I appreciate it. Absolutely. And even more coffee to get it and keep it going. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to change gears here a little bit and get into a story that I had been following over the weekend and trying to think of how to bring this to the team here, to us. And here it is. Here it is. As soon as I get to it, I'm talking about an incident that happened over the weekend. I think maybe on Friday or Saturday at the World Junior Championship for ice hockey. This is a huge hockey tournament of juniors, kids who are they've all already been drafted by the pros. They've all already had their careers and agents and stuff mapped out, but this is the World Junior Championship. So teams from Sweden, from the US, from Canada, from all over Europe, from all over North America. Where else? That's pretty much it. Europe and North America, maybe Eastern Europe. Russia has a team, so Asia, I guess, whatever. The point is, it's the World Junior Championships. And this weekend, something happened that has nothing to do with goals, records, or rankings. I'm going to show you a quick video of a situation that happened. And if you know anything about hockey, and that puck is pretty hard and it comes pretty fast, and a player was struck with the puck, but I want to point something out and talk about it within that video. So I am once again going to try to get on my horse here and share this quick video, 45-second video here, if it will share. Come on, get on that stage. There it is. Gentleman's name is Cole Hudson. Just watch the video.
Here's what ends up happening in front. So whenever you have an injury, and certainly here with Cole Hudson, you're in good hands with Stan Wong. That's for certain.
Oh, they're going to bring the stretcher out on the ice.
I want to pause it right here because I want you to see. And can you see my mouse when I wave it over here? Right here. Number 34. That's the guy I want to talk about, not the kid, Cole Hudson, who got hit in the back of the head right underneath the helmet, dropped like a brick. Luckily, just so everybody knows, he's fine. He's recovering. He may even play again today. He didn't dress yesterday, but it was a pretty scary sight during the World Junior Championships. And what was really important to me in that video wasn't necessarily Cole Hudson getting hit in the back of the head, but it was Cole Iserman, who was his teammate, number 34, kneeling next to him and holding his hand before the medics even arrived. Now, these guys were our college teammates, so they know each other very, very well. But Iserman knew immediately that Hudson was in trouble, and he went back. He went right to him before the medics even got there, and certainly was with him and by his side. But the reason the story struck me, and I'm getting chills thinking about it, is because of what he said, what he said in the post-game interview. At that moment, I wasn't really a hockey player. He was just there for his teammate. That's it. That's the whole story. In the middle of the world-class tournament, cameras, everything on the line. It wasn't about the game. It wasn't about the optics. It wasn't thinking about what came next or who's going to cover his shift or anything. He was just a friend there. And he also reported that he was there with him and he asked him to squeeze his hand. He knew enough to find out if he had any motor function. And when Hudson was initially was not able to do it and then was finally able to do it, Eiserman said that that's when he finally took his first breath during that entire moment. So, yeah, I'm getting chills. I'm getting a little emotional about it. It really struck me. So right in the middle of all of that, he just said, "You're not alone." So that was a big one. Whew. I did not expect that to hit me the way it did either. Apparently, I got the feels today. It's okay. I enjoy it. That's important. It's important to feel it all. Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty cool story. I mean, to me, that shows character, it shows integrity, it shows humanity. Uh, that's pretty cool. We watch these kids coming up and they're all hot shots and they're scoring thousands of goals. And I'm a huge hockey fan, so I'm going to relate it to hockey, but the same thing could be true in basketball. Same thing could be true in debating. Whatever it is, these hot shot kids that come up, it's always the way, right? They start developing and they get noticed, especially in today's world. They start getting all this attention. And we've seen the stories that go sideways, that go backwards, that kids can't handle that. People can't handle that. It's a tremendous amount of pressure. And they make choices that are not high integrity and are not kind necessarily. I'm going to try to fix this. So to me, that story is really, really, really telling about a kid. Like, I would want him on my team. So I forget who Eiserman was drafted by. Hudson's with the Capitals. I'm going to go off on a hockey tangent, but that was a pretty big deal. You don't see that kind of stuff too often, and to me, that's why we exist here on Kindness Rising, to bring those kind of stories and that kind of perspective to the world, rather than all the noise that's out there in the world, everything that's out there trying to divide us and anger us and pit us against each other. I don't get political, although tomorrow I'm going to tease a little thing. I guess I saw another, I consume some content too. It's part of learning and growing. And I did see a reel. I think it was on Facebook. I have to find it again, but I think I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, which was about the little guy, right? And it's pretty important, I think. And so maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow, and we'll call it One Small Ant, A-N-T, not A-U-N-T, Aunt Carol, but One Small Ant, A-N-T, will be a story that I will bring tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on Kindness Rising, as part of the Mornings in the Lab network, where we help you get up and get after it every day. A little bit of kindness, start your day with some perspective here on Kindness Rising. And then if you choose, you get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends for an alternative and amazing, interesting conversation, actually, with two guys, John Anderson and Keith Billis, who bring their unique style, but all of their experience, their expertise, their authenticity, their trust, and some entertainment to you the 5-ingredient recipe for a personal brand. And that is what we do on Mornings in the Lab. We focus and we help people with their eat and make sure that their eat experience, expertise, authenticity, trust, and entertainment is shown to the world, because the world needs you. And you can do it by going live on the Mornings in the Lab network with me, Matthew Roof, and Keith Billis, and John Anderson, and Chris Martin. And soon to be, we have some additional programs starting. We're going to have our Joy program starting in January. And we've got a couple other little things cooking. If you've got interest in starting program, pretty much of any kind, as long as you want to do it live, we can help you. And as long as it aligns with our principles, and you want to bring positivity, and you want to bring interest, and you want to bring community together as part of your mission, we want you here at Mornings in the Lab Network. So come on in and join us, and we can help you. We've got all the tools that you need, all the education. Keith Billis has been doing this for 2+ years. I'm going on 6 months of doing it every day, 120 whatever straight work days, Monday through Friday. I've been here at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and I hope you will come here and join me too, and talk about things like growth as we grow into the new year and we face the changes that 2026 will bring. And we do those slowly through self-awareness and through balance in our lives, and by taking action. I talk to a lot of people who that's the barrier. The barrier is the action. It's not the idea. It's not the talent. It's not the experience, the education, the authenticity, the trust, all those things that you can build by going live. It's the action. It's the courage to take the step forward. And that doesn't just hold true for going live. It holds true for a lot of things in life. It holds true for sneezing, because I'm about to take action on that. Excuse me. And that's the kind of stuff that happens when you go live. All right. You sneeze. It happens. We all sneeze, right? Anyway, I hope that you get a little bit of joy from the show. Michelle Alisi, welcome into Kindness Rising. Subscribe to the channel and join us 7:30 a.m. Eastern every Monday through Friday as we get up and get after it with hope, humanity, and heart. I appreciate you. Come on back and get involved with us. Absolutely. All right. So our takeaways. That's right. I'm like, what am I missing? What am I missing? So every day on Kindness Rising, we like to give you a little something to take away, something clear, something practical, something that you can focus on to help with just leading a life of kindness and leading a life of positivity. And today we're talking specifically about growth, because progress often happens before the proof appears. Remember that silence doesn't mean stagnation, right? All the cheers, all the likes, if we're talking about social media, all the thumbs up, all the comments in the chat, all that, it doesn't just appear. It comes over time. Remember also that discomfort can signal the need for realignment, but it's not failure. New patterns will sometimes feel awkward before they feel right. So just remember, discomfort can signal alignment, not failure. Also, small adjustments, those are what compound quietly, the little things every day, tuning over time, not instantly, not making huge swings, huge changes. Sure, you have to take action and move, but you do it building off of what you've done before, building blocks of steps. I've talked about it as a spiral staircase, rising up every time you go around the spiral staircase, you're coming up again. So sometimes you feel like you're repeating the same thing over and over again, but really you're just rising up as you learn and grow each time around. That's my little visual analogy for growth that we talk about all the time here. And also remember, you don't have to feel different to be different. Sometimes the changes are happening and you don't even notice it within yourself. They show up later, right? So, but by taking these daily steps, taking action every day to improve your life, to rise with kindness, to focus on action steps each day, the progress shows up later. Some people call it the grind. I don't really like to think of it that way, but it's work, 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 work. Look up. How did I progress? Did I come around? Am I coming around the spiral staircase? Am I rising up? Those are things we always like to talk about here on Kindness Rising. I hope you will think about it. Maybe it sparked a little something in you today. All right, so that's our show for today. We're going to get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, and they're talking about a couple of hot items in the news today, and I'm sure they will bring unique perspectives that align with our pillars to both of these stories, which is kind of cool when you think about it, having these sets of pillars, these things that we talk about, and then we can apply to our world. It's our lens that we look through. So Keith and John are going to be talking about the Anthony Joshua car crash. You may have heard that fighter Anthony Joshua, who's been in the headlines lately because of his crazy knockout of Jake Paul. Last week, 2 weeks ago, was involved in a car crash, and there were some devastating consequences there. And then he's also going to be talking about the return of Malcolm in the Middle 10 years later, I think is what they said, or he went away for 10 years. I don't remember, but we're going to learn more about Malcolm in the Middle. We know that Frankie Muniz, the Malcolm character, has become like a Formula One or a NASCAR driver or something like that. And of course, Bryan Cranston, we all loved him in Breaking Bad, and his career has evolved too. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on the Malcolm in the Middle reunion. Absolutely. All right, so get on over there to Keith, Mornings in the Lab. Subscribe to the channel here. Reach out to me, Matthew Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, here on YouTube, over on LinkedIn, Facebook. If you're interested in going live, or if you just want to connect, because that's what we do here on the Mornings in the Lab network. We build connections and we build community. So that's it for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember, as we head into the new year, you're not starting over, you're just tuning up. And as always, stay uncommon and stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.